right now we're not closing that many new loans. It's kind of hard to say how today's loans are going to turn out. I think one interesting question is going to be, what are we learning today from the present downturn so that when we start closing loans again in the next boom, maybe the boom that starts in 2011 or 2012, how are we going to do things differently? My guess, if I had to fast forward, is we won't do things all that differently at all. My guess is we will just pretty much go back to doing what we were doing in 2005. Maybe not what we were doing in 2007, but 80% loan to value, non-recourse permanent financing, maybe some mezzanine financing here and there. I think securitization as it was really the rocket that propelled the real estate market. I think that's going to take a while to come back, because I think a lot of people lost a lot of money and confidence when the market collapsed. I think there were assumptions built into securitizations that if things went bad, they wouldn't go bad as consistently and as broadly and as extensively as they have gone bad. And one is going to have to really revisit those assumptions and kind of how that whole machine works. The notion that you originate loans and then sell them off in pieces to investors who have different appetites for risk and return, that's a good idea. There's no reason to think we can't revive that, but it's going to be, I think, more disciplined than it got to be in, say, 06 and 07. You may see even more technology involving single-purpose entities. What extra steps can you take to try to insulate these borrowing entities from the financial reverses of their parents or their principals? Ultimately, you're never going to achieve perfection there. I think we're not finished with testing the single-purpose entity structures, but so far the single-purpose entity structures seem to have held up okay, including in the GGP bankruptcy. There was some thought there that it would all get mushed together and substantively consolidated into a single bankruptcy, but that didn't happen, and people were not delighted with what happened, but it did not spell the end of real estate financing. In terms of other elements, I think we'll see more use of non-recourse carve-out guarantees. I think one lesson learned is that the non-recourse carve-out guarantees have in very important ways incentivized borrowers to cooperate with lenders. I think that mechanism is here to stay. I think some of the mechanisms that we did when real estate financing was thawing the last time around, in other words, in 94, 95, 96, lock boxes, cash management devices, I talked about SPEs. There's only a certain number of things that you can do in real estate finance, and it all kind of ultimately boils down to the underwriting. And I would expect 75%, 80% loan to value, and I would expect that we're not going to see loan to values much beyond that for many, many years. And I think that's the fundamental characteristic of the next round of real estate financing.